Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it. Good morning, everybody. It is Cowboy. Happy 2026. Let me go ahead and adjust my camera here. Give me just a moment. Had to do some quick adjustments before the show started. And you know what? I got to get my glasses. Give me 1 second. All right. There we are. I didn't have that ready to go. Okay. Welcome welcome to the new year, to the new market. Let's go ahead and just jump in and get started here. I'm going to start with the NASDAQ. We'll take a look at Bitcoin and silver if there's time. NASDAQ's pretty quiet, right? So we had a move down. Basically, the Friday close was a hard move down. Probably had something to do with closing out the year, or closing out the week, I should say. That was the 2nd of January. Our first Monday open was yesterday. After the Sunday futures open, price did climb it back up a bit to see to basically see near the highs before Friday dumped out. And now price has been pretty stable. For the moment, I expect it to be so. We do have some news coming out pretty soon, though, and that news could have a big effect on price. There's no major news happening. We don't have any CPI or anything like that. Let's fix that background a bit here. So we don't have to worry about anything that major, if you will. In fact, we got to fix everything. Give me just a moment. There we are. Apologies for the slow start there. So, I think we're going to get some volatility, some tradability. Today might be kind of quiet, good for smaller moves. But to look at the algos, I know I did the weekly update, yesterday I put it out. Those of you who follow would have gotten the notification. Hopefully you're watching it. I know some people did watch it. But things are really relatively momentarily stable in the NASDAQ. Let me bring it out to the monthly just to take a look at the higher time frame and what that says. Yeah, the NASDAQ is ready to take a break, but if the market's able to hold it up for an extended period of time, you might just see the NASDAQ kind of hang out at these highs. Now, this is the weekly chart, right? This is the very high time frame. This is going back to mid-2024 in the whole chart. And we might just see price kind of hang out in this area for now. Now, on the macro, there are some concerning things happening right now in the world and in markets. And we might see something happen later this year. We might see a couple of pullbacks like we've seen, right? We might see this move down here, the next move down there, but it might also be that markets are held up through the midterms. And that's a bunch of theory. So, and that's all fine. What it says is that markets could really be volatile or not. It makes things a bit unpredictable. There is a sort of a lack of macro support, though. So whatever support is happening this year is going to be vastly done by money printing, creating money out of thin air with corporate bonds, things like that. People using their war chest to hold the market up. It's kind of always that way, but I think this year might be a little more urgently that way. Markets are very volatile. So for the moment, though, I think whatever forces are at play are holding the markets where they are. We're probably not going to see a ton of action this week. This is a 3-hour chart, and I think we'll just see price kind of stay in a range outside of any surprises. Price at the moment is having a hard time getting above this 25,900 mark, 26,000 basically. So this week, I expect price to just kind of bounce around in the current area outside of major surprises. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's had a great move up, had a very seemingly temporary pullback, right? So Bitcoin was in a very tight range going back to November, really, like mid-November around the 20th. And Bitcoin stayed in this range, basically between 84,000 and the current high right now. It's at 94,000. So it's kind of a $10,000 range, more or less. And now Bitcoin does need to break this high, and that's important. You can see here, and this is the 3-hour chart, but back in early December, the 9th of December, it tried to break 94,000 twice, was unable to do so. Now, price had ranged for quite a while here between 86.5 to 90.5 thousand. And the breakouts from these long ranges tend to be pretty volatile, which this one has so far. Now, it has tested this high again from December 9th at 94.5 thousand. So far has rejected, but the trend is still pretty bullish. So really, what remains to be seen, let me just take a brief look at the all the metrics and algos and stuff. Look, there's enough energy to get so enough energy to get price past 94,000, right? It's there. Is it going to happen? That remains to be seen. Will it be that the large money is just going to take their profit at 94,000 and continue to keep price bouncing downwards until they have gotten out entirely, right? That could happen where price just bounces off this 94,000 repeatedly in the future as the smart money continues to take their profit off the table using this bullish move as exit liquidity, and then price just goes down from there. That's very possible. It could happen. If that does happen, there is a likelihood that price would continue to bounce in this area and then eventually move down. However, it might also be that price is able to move past 94,000, right? So for the moment, though, I'd say the two most likely local scenarios are going to be either price sort of continues to try to break 94,000. Maybe it comes back down. Maybe it doesn't, right? Maybe it just, depends on the energy, and it depends on a lot of things, but those are that's the, kind of non-bearish, non-bullish perspective. Or the other more likely scenario is that eventually price does break out, maybe sooner rather than later, to test 98,000 area, right? So this could happen as well, where price breaks out to test that area. I don't think price at the very moment is going to reject back down below, maybe not below 84,000. That's not quite as likely in the near term. It could happen next week. Could happen 2 or 3 weeks from now. Very, very possible. But for the moment, there's enough bullishness to at least, I think, hold price above 84,000 and even possibly above 90,000. However, as this plays out this week and the new year opens up, we're just going to have to see how that goes. And we do have just enough time to talk about silver here. So silver is looking pretty strong in the near term. And if I were to choose some local targets for silver, I'd be looking at 93, maybe let's just say $94 and 107. Now, I did get some news yesterday that, let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second to find this. I believe price opened up in London at the equivalent of $118, was it? Let's see. It was in my text messages. That's where I got that. Give me 1 second. Let's go to, here it is. Okay, let me open this link and move it to where you can see it. Okay, so Britain silver priced at 115 an ounce. UK is officially selling 1 ounce silver coins at 85 pounds, which is 115 USD. Futures market in the US open 6 p.m. tonight. This came out yesterday. Price should surge to these levels pretty fast. Okay, maybe. I would, okay, there certainly is a bullish look on silver, and we have the 84 as local high. Price could easily get there today or tomorrow. It is bullish right now, I can tell you, on all time frames. You're going to get pullbacks here and there, of course, but I think we're done with this pullback from 84 to 70, and that was a 386 pullback, by the way. from this move up going back to late October. So 382 was at 70 from a Fibonacci, retracement, and it does appear price doesn't right now want to go below 70. So the next target up, if price can get past 84, would be 94 as for fib extensions, and maybe 107, roughly 108, if we could get an extension up. And with silver being where it is, that's extremely likely. There are a lot of supply shortages and everything else. Silver is very bullish for a number of reasons. So back to the chart here. V the Gorilla has now entered the chat. Good morning, sir. How are you, V?
Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, buddy.
Yeah, we're just finishing up here on the public live lab. I've got targets for silver maybe this week, maybe next 2 weeks. We'll see at 94 to 107. But just since you just joined us, I'll show you this on the screen here. This came out, I don't know, 24 hours ago or something. Britain silver priced at 115 an ounce. So they're selling 1 ounce silver coins in Britain at 85 pounds, which is roughly 115 USD.
It's breaking, buddy.
Yeah. So I see nothing but right now, midterm, if not near term, if not all term upside targets at 94. I'd say by the end of the week, 94 is quite possible. Really anything is possible, but and then 107 before we actually see silver take a break, and that break could be minutes, hours, days, or weeks. But I see a move up in that direction, and if we were to maintain trajectory, that'd be like before the end of the month, breaking $100.
Yeah.
So it could happen way quicker than that. You never know. Silver. Really, there is a little bit of euphoria in silver, but we keep talking about it. This, in our opinion, and if you correct me if I'm wrong about your opinion, but this is a repricing, right?
Yes.
So, we've talked a lot about this for like 3 years, not longer. 10 years, 12 years. We even talk about this stuff going back to 2012, on some form of the internet, going back to coast. And I've been involved since 2017, and we've been calling this move in silver out for a very long time, and we've been calling a lot of moves out. So if you want to see how we're doing it, or just hear what we think, Algo Factory is the place to do it. As a matter of fact, V, can you mention the link for the free algo and get us over to the private live lab?
Absolutely. Listen, guys, you want to know the play-by-play, you want to stay ahead of the curve, you want to know where the market's going to be months and even years in advance, get yourself over to algofactory.tech. The link is in the description box. Click it, get your free algo, and come on board. Make it happen for yourself, and learn to trade like a hedge fund pro.
Awesome. Just trying to find this guy here. Never forget.
Join us or die.
Just kidding. You're not going to die. We love you. Bye.